I want to start off today by asking a question. What do you think is the number one concern among contact sport athletes when dealing with injuries? For those of you who are self-proclaimed fantasy football experts, an ESPN connoisseur, or you've just heard about sports injuries in the past, you may know what I'm talking about. In the wide world of contact sports, concussions have been a major concern and have drawn a lot of attention by media, players, and personnel. The CDC estimates that an average of 1.7 million people sustain concussion-like symptoms annually. As a sports fanatic and a health student in college, I've been able to gain a vast understanding of concussions and other sports-related injuries. Today I will give you information about the causes of concussions, the symptoms that happen due to concussions, and how to treat and prevent concussions from happening in the future. I'll start off by talking about the causes. The definition by Mayo Clinic on concussions is a traumatic brain injury, or TBI, that alters the way your brain functions. The brain is surrounded by spinal fluid that acts as a cushion. When a person is hit, falls down, or receives any other injury that causes the head to shake, a concussion can occur. As you can see in these first two pictures, the first picture is of the brain in a normal state, and the second one is when a hit occurs on the head and the brain hits the actual skull. This is when a concussion happens. Examples of causes include fighting, vehicle accidents, contact sport, and recreational activities such as snowboarding and skiing. I personally received a concussion while snowboarding a couple years ago. I hit the back of my head and I don't remember exactly what happened. Most common short-term symptoms, moving on from causes now to symptoms, the most common short-term symptoms brought by, as given by medicinenet.com, include headache, nausea, amnesia, and overall confusion. Another way to tell is by when you hit the back of your head, you might receive a headache in the front of your head. This is also shown in these pictures in picture 2 and 3, in that when you hit the front of your head, the back of your head will also sustain a concussion, causing injury to both the front and the back of the brain. This is what happened to me. When I hit my back of the head, I received a headache in the front of my head, giving me the medical staff told me that I did indeed receive a concussion due to that. Long-term symptoms, these can last days to weeks to even months. Some symptoms include sleep disturbances, personality change, memory loss, depression, and disorders of taste and smell. Depending on where the concussion takes place, different functions of the brain can be altered. If you see someone with these symptoms, you should seek medical care as soon as possible. Athletes also should not return to their sport until they are medically cleared for play. A number one concern is that if you aren't medically cleared and you receive another concussion, the severity can increase and longer lasting results can occur. Now that we have talked about both the causes of concussions and the symptoms, we can now move on to both treatment and prevention. The main way to treat a concussion is to get adequate amount of time to recover. As the brain is healing and recovering and swelling is going down, that's the most important thing to get back to full recovery. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, found on Mayo Clinic's website, the term rest includes both physical, so staying away from sports, and mental, which would be not doing anything that stresses the brain too much. If you receive headaches during or after a concussion, use acetaminophen, such as Tylenol, and not ibuprofen, such as Advil, as this may cause an increase in the possibility of bleeding. The best way to prevent a concussion is by instituting safe lifestyle precautions. This is such things as wearing a seatbelt, wearing protective gear such as a helmet in football and lacrosse, and making your home safe by clearing off stairs and floors, as kids or anyone can fall and receive a concussion. In wrapping up, I hope that by now you have gained a better understanding of the sport injury that are concussions. If anyone you know sustains a concussion, my hope is that you will be able to know what to do in the future and how to prevent it from happening. we have looked at the causation, the symptoms, and the treatment and prevention of concussions. So the next time you turn on the TV and your favorite sports athlete is on a list of concussion-related injuries, you will be able to understand one of the many painful sacrifices that they go through in order to gain that precious victory. Thanks.